What's going on, Stim Junkies? High Stim Ace here. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. It is 11 o'clock at night, and I have a little bit of a dilemma going right now. I want to go to sleep. Nay, I need to go to sleep because I have to be up super early tomorrow morning for an excruciating morning workout. But the problem is, I'm pretty hopped up right now. I can't seem to go to sleep whether I want to or not. So what am I supposed to do in this crucial juncture? Well, my friends, luckily for me, tonight I will be running the all-new Crash Sleep Aid from my good friends over at Vices and Vibes. Tonight will be the 7th time that I am running this sleep aid here, and in theory, this is supposed to help you not only fall asleep and relax, but stay asleep the entire night and help your body recover right in time for that grueling morning workout. Is it worth picking up the new, reformulated version of the Crash Sleep Aid? Let's talk about it. Okay guys, so what I am holding in my hands is the previous iteration of Crash, a sleep aid that I actually really enjoyed. There was one ingredient in here known as phenibut. For you guys that are in the know about, you know that that's an ingredient that's a little bit in the gray area. Not everybody's fans of it, and possibly for good reason, because phenibut could have a bit of an addictive property to it. If you rely on it too much, if you're going to take it regularly, then the body does seem to get withdrawal symptoms similar to that of other stronger drugs, and we don't want that, guys. We are here to live a healthy lifestyle, and obviously if used within moderation, if you're a responsible adult, and if you're watching this channel, you should be a responsible adult that knows how to handle their stimulants, their pre-workouts, their exotic ingredients. But phenibut is an ingredient that's a little bit tricky, and me personally, I have a rule that I only run phenibut sleep aids once a week, usually Friday night. But with that being said, Vices and Vibes went ahead and they decided to reformulate this item here, this sleep aid, and what we got instead of this version is the all-new V2 of Crash. It has the nice updated label, really sleek design, really cool, in line with their other products such as their pre-workout that I have here behind me. Really like that one. If I do recall correctly, that is the Smack V2 pre-workout, which for whatever reason the name escaped me for a brief moment, but I really like that one, reviewed it. You guys can check out the review on the channel. On my reviews playlists, I always link all that information in the video description below. But we are not here to talk pre-workouts, guys. We are here to talk about the hottest new sleep aid from Vices and Vibes. It's a reformulated version, and you guys are wondering, is it worth picking this one up? Is it as good as the previous version? Now, obviously, this one doesn't have phenibut in it, so a lot of people that are used to that phenibut sleep aid, that are looking for that deep sleep, they're going to be wondering if this one's worth picking up. So obviously, there is no phenibut in here. It's going in a bit of a different direction, but that doesn't mean that this one here is a slouch. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have a controversial opinion, and we're going to talk about that opinion later in the effects section. But before we do that, guys, as always, we're going to discuss this label. Okay guys, so serving size for this full label is 2 scoops, comes in to 12.1 grams, and each scoop does come in at about 6 grams, maybe 6.5, so weigh it out, because despite this not having phenibut, there are a lot of other ingredients in here, and some of them are dosed pretty high, so you don't want to overdo it. Sometimes these sleep aids will give you a little bit of a tightness in the chest, a little bit of a warmness, and that does come from one of the ingredients in here, which we will discuss in a moment. So guys, same rule applies to the pre-workout, same rule applies here to the sleep aids. Always weigh it out, and always start off with half a dose to assess your tolerance. But we are going to read everything here as it pertains to the full 2-scoop dose, and we will get 20 whole servings out of it at that dose. We start off with L-glycine at a massive 3 grams. That is an amino acid, an essential amino acid, and it helps with insulin production, a little bit of growth hormone effect in the sleep. So overall, definitely a great ingredient to start off this label with. We are off to a good and promising start. Next up is the ingredient that I mentioned earlier, can cause a little bit of that tightness and warmness in the chest if you are not used to it at a high dose. And what I'm talking about, of course, is GABA. And we are getting GABA here at 2 grams. This is the replacement ingredient for the phenibut. They are structurally similar, but not quite. There aren't any addictive properties within GABA, which is a good thing, but that doesn't mean you want to take it every single day, because you could kind of get used to it and then it won't have the effect that you desire. Now, again, with GABA, especially over 1.5 grams, I notice it has this effect where it kind of gives you a warmness in the chest, a little bit of a tightness, a little bit of a shortness of breath. Me personally, I'm not a fan of that feeling. Some people like it. It feels good to them. I personally don't like that feeling. So 2 grams will definitely give you a little bit of that, theoretically, on label. So that is why I say, guys, always start off with half the dose and assess your tolerance. You could always go 3/4 of a dose. And if you're feeling comfortable with it, you can obviously do the full dose, right? So you're getting 2 grams in here, definitely on the higher end. Next up, we have inositol coming in at 1,500 milligrams. That is going to help with mood regulation, get you feeling a little bit good. So that's always a good thing. We got taurine at 1,000 milligrams, jack of all trades kind of ingredient. And then we have L-tryptophan coming in at 1 gram. And this here is another essential amino acid. However, when dosed at higher than 1 gram, it will cause sleepiness, which is why I'm assuming this is here at 1 gram. So that's very good. I like that a lot. Zelaria comes in next at 500 milligrams. That is a trademarked mushroom extract from the Zelaria nigrips. I'm pronouncing that incorrectly for sure, but that is a mushroom extract blend, and that is also going to help promote relaxation and sleep within the body. Chamomile powder, 300 milligrams. Usually you find chamomile teas that do help with sleep and relaxation, so this is the core ingredient here. Going straight to the source, guys. No need to be drinking any tea when you can get all the chamomile extract right here from Vices and Vibes Crash. I love it. Good stuff. L-theanine, 300 milligrams, great for relaxation. Lemon balm extract, another ingredient for relaxation, 150 milligrams, as well as lavender extract, also helps with relaxation and just taking the edge off, 150 milligrams. Apigenin, 90% yield, 100 milligrams. That is going to help with muscle recovery and relaxation, as well as help promote sleepiness within the body. And lastly, we have Apocanum ventrum leaf extract, which is trademarked as Venetron, coming in at 50 milligrams. That is an ancient Chinese herb, which is blended and helps promote relaxation, muscle recovery, and sleep within the body. Before I tell you guys if it's worth picking up Crash V2 or not, don't forget to like this video, comment below, share the channel with a fellow sleep junkie or somebody who desperately needs a good night's sleep. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Okay, guys, in front of me, I'm holding the 2 versions of Crash. This is the first version here, the phenibut version, and this here is V2, the newly reformulated version that I just read the label for. Now, with this previous version, the phenibut version, it hit really strong and pretty quickly, came in at about 20-25 minutes. I took it at half a dose, 3/4 of a dose, and obviously the full dose. I had no issues taking this one at the full dose because this one only had 1 gram of GABA, and it also had 1 gram of phenibut, which for me is the perfect sweet spot. Anywhere from 750 milligrams to 1.5 grams of phenibut is okay for me, but anything more than that for me is overkill. Somatomax has like 3 grams in there, and I hate that product with a passion. I threw my tub out. I know that one's, people love that one. I hated it. But this here to me was the perfect phenibut sleep aid. But again, this is something you can use once a week, maybe twice a week if you space out like 4 or 5 days in between, but definitely no more than that, right? So Vices and Vibes went ahead, they ditched the phenibut, and instead we got this new crazy label, which I did read to you guys. The GABA comes in a little bit high at 2 grams, but other than that, it's a very well-balanced formula. You have well-researched ingredients such as L-theanine and the chamomile extract, as well as a bunch of natural ingredients. You got those mushroom extracts, those ancient Chinese herbs, the lavender extract, the lemon balm. So it's a really well-rounded formula. You're getting some, I guess you could say, synthetic ingredients, and then you are getting a lot of natural herbal extracts. So it's a good blend of the two, and I really like it. I think it's really important to take those kind of ingredients that do have a history of promoting relaxation within the body. Like I mentioned earlier, the chamomile tea. People have been drinking that for centuries. I still drink me some chamomile tea infused with lavender and lemongrass to help promote relaxation and sleep. One of my favorite teas, by the way. I do drink tea. Yes, High Stim Ace likes his tea. So this here, guys, what do I think of this reformulated version? So before I tell you what I think, I'm going to talk about the flavor briefly, just touch upon it. This is the watermelon lemonade flavor. I do believe it's the only flavor that it comes with. And it's decent going down. When you take the first sip, it actually has a really good flavor to it, but 2-3 seconds after, you're going to get the back end of it, and the aftertaste is a little rough. I'm not going to lie, guys. So this is definitely one where you want to chug it, maybe mix it in with a little bit of water, 8 to 10 ounces. You want to chug it, whatever dose you end up taking it, whether it's half a dose, 3/4, full dose, and then go ahead and brush your teeth, because the aftertaste is a little harsh on this one, probably from that mushroom extract. It's kind of reminiscent to pre-workouts that use the lion's mane mushroom extract. They have that really bitter, earthy aftertaste, and this has a little bit of that. Goes down really smooth, but literally a few seconds later, you're going to taste it. So for you guys that do care about flavor, I don't, but I'm just saying, I know you guys exist. So take it, and go brush your teeth afterwards. But you're going to want to take this one about 30 minutes before you go to sleep, or rather before you want to go to sleep, for it to fully start taking effect. There is a massive difference running this one at 1 scoop, which is half the dose, and running it at 2 scoops. Now, this isn't marketed as a 40-20 formula. It's only 1 serving size, which is the 2 scoops. However, High Stim Ace says you can definitely take this at half a scoop, and I personally prefer the effects at 3/4. That for me is the perfect sweet spot. Like I mentioned earlier, 2 grams of GABA for me is very difficult. For some reason, I get this warmness on my chest, which turns into tightness, and it gives me a bit of a shortness of breath. And this isn't indicative of this product exclusively. This goes across the spectrum for all sleep aids that have 2 or more grams of GABA. That's just the way I respond to GABA at more than 1.5 grams. So for me, taking it at 3/4 of a dose is perfect. It's going to hit just as hard as the full dose, but without giving you that tightness around the chest. Now, what I will say is that compared to other products that do have 2 grams of GABA in there, this actually doesn't give you that tightness and constriction as much as comparable products with those dosages. So even if you do decide to take this one here at the full 2 scoop dose, you will get a little bit of that tightness and warmness in the chest, but it's very minimal compared to other comparable products. And it only lasts about 20-ish minutes. So about 20 minutes after you consume the drink, you'll start feeling it. It'll be there for about 20-25 minutes, and then it'll dissipate and you're going to knock out. That's essentially how this works. So if you're taking this at 1 scoop, which is half the dose, in my opinion, it works a little bit better because it takes longer for it to hit you. You could take it up to an hour before you want to go to sleep, and it will slowly build up within your system. You're going to start getting a little groggy, a little tired. The muscles are going to relax. The eyelids are going to get heavy. And it kind of transitions you into a nice, restful, full night's sleep. And to me, that's the way I like it. I don't like being hit with something that essentially knocks me out. I'd rather it take an hour, but slowly build up. Let me feel naturally tired before just knocking out, as opposed to taking something that just knocks me out within 15-20 minutes. But it depends, guys. Depends on the night. I'm pretty restless tonight, so I'm actually going to take this bad boy at the full dose tonight, which again is not an issue for me because even though it does have 2 grams of GABA, it doesn't hit as hard as comparable products. So I'm going to take this to the full dose. I've ran this like 6 times already so far at various dosages. And to me, it really depends. You need to experiment on your body. It depends how you respond to GABA, but try it at 1 scoop first. So full scoop, full dose is 12.1 grams. That is for 2 scoops. Run it at 6 grams. See how you respond to it. If you don't feel it that much, you want it a little bit stronger, go for 9 grams. And obviously, if you want to get the full effect, take it at the 12.1 gram dose, and you're going to have a good night's sleep. Going to hit you in about 20-25 minutes, and you're going to knock out cold. So when it comes to Crash V2 from Vices and Vibes, they accomplished everything they set out to do. They created a sleep aid that, in my opinion, is even stronger than the original one at the full dose. So definitely, I don't think this is one you could be taking every single day. Maybe save it for those nights where you're really restless twice a week. But if you do run it at half a dose, then theoretically, you should be able to run this every single night. I don't see the issue with that. But the full dose, maybe save it for once a week where you really want to pass out and you know you can actually sleep in the next day. You don't want to take this at the full dose and then have to wake up the next day at 6:30 a.m. It's not worth it. So to me, save it for those weekends where you really want to knock out. You want to get in like a good 8-9 hours of sleep and reset your entire adrenal system for the next day. It will do that as well. And one more thing I want to touch upon really quickly, there's no melatonin in here. So I know some people don't like melatonin, even at like a low 2-3 gram dose, because it can give you grogginess, and some people have the side effect of having weird dreams from it. I've personally taken up until 10-15 milligrams of melatonin in the past. I don't really take more than 5 milligrams in this day and age. I take it, I let it sit for about an hour, hour and a half before it kicks. To me, I don't really respond to it all that much anymore, but I know a lot of people don't like melatonin, so this here is a great option for you guys that don't want melatonin in your sleep aid, so definitely make that consideration. To pick up the new Crash V2 from Vices and Vibes, head over to NutriCartel.com and use my discount code ACE15. That will save you 15% off your entire order and help support this channel. Thank you so much for tuning into this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'd like to give a big, major, massive thanks to my good friends over at Vices and Vibes for sending out the Crash V2 my way for review. Really like this one, and I'm actually going to take this one tonight because I got to get to sleep. It's getting late, guys, and I got to be up early tomorrow morning for a good, grueling workout session. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. Don't forget to follow High Stim Ace on Instagram at High Stim Ace. Like the video, share the video, comment on the video, engage with the High Stim pre-workout community that we have built here. And I will see you all next time for the next High Stim pre-workout review. Take care, everybody. High Stim Ace, signing off.